It's actually
Have you
happened.
ever had that said? Has that been said to you at all?
It has, yeah. It has been said to me. My uncle's wife, I went to London, and my uncle's wife, she was like, "Oh yeah, there's this guy that looks exactly like you." And I'm like, "Wow, I'd love to meet somebody that looks exactly like me." Anyway,
Yeah.
turns out we met the guy, and she was like, "Yeah." And she was pointing the guy, "Oh, that's the guy." And I'm thinking, "What guy?" And it's but and he looked nothing like me.
Did you tell her that?
No, I didn't. I didn't know whether to be angry or not. I'm stood there looking at, and the guy actually walked up to me and apologized. He looked at me and said, "He looks nothing like." I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
Well, obviously, to your auntie or whoever, you did look like him. That's the thing. But doppelgangers do exist. I think some people really do look like someone else, don't they? And I guess there's is ultimately a limited number of face styles. I mean, it's kind of it doesn't seem a limited number, but I think there are certain, some people have wide jawbones, for example, and that's a particular feature, and round faces, longer faces. So I think there's a limited number of people
Yeah.
as to how we can look, but yeah, I don't think I've ever met my doppelganger. I expect there's someone out there.
Tell you what, though. I tell you what, Trevor. Yeah, because
Yeah,
my mom is my mom's mom is Ghanaian, and
all right.
I went to Ghana years ago to visit, and my cousin looks exactly like me. His girlfriend walked
Really,
up to me,
really.
yeah, walked up to me and started speaking Chui. So Chui is a language that it's like
Yeah,
the language that they speak in Ghana. And she walked up to me, and I don't speak Chui. So she walked up to me, she started speaking Chui, and I'm looking at her and I'm thinking, what are you trying to say? Anyway, one of my cousins walked up to me and he said, and she was trying to tell her apparently that it's not children. He said, no, no, it's
right.
not Brad Children. It's not Brad Children, like brother Children. It's not Brad Children. That's his cousin from Nigeria. And I'm like, and I'm like, oh, does she think my cousin, and apparently it's not just her. There's quite a lot of people that
Yeah, do that.
I look like him. Yeah. I don't know if I still look like him now, but yeah. Or he still looks like.
I mean, she could have come up to you, thrown her arms around your neck, and given you a big kiss, couldn't she? You'd have had to pretend you were you were your
I
cousin or
just made
something.
myself to my cousin. I won't try and I swear I won't trying to take your girlfriend.
You could use it to your advantage, Emmy. That's the truth of it.
It just happened. Yeah, so yeah.
Next, try it again. Go there again and see if
I
it works second time.
don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah, good stuff.
I think they're married before kids now. So she must really know what he looks like now.
That's a good one. Good one.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I'll tell you what, Trevor. And some
Mm,
of what we've done now,
yep.
I'm able to edit a little bit, and
Yep.
we could just
Put
add
it
it.
in.
Yeah, we could just put it.
Yep.
Yeah. Right.
Well,
Okay.
that's the thing. Part of our conversations, they're more natural than saying, "Right, let's go," and then we just edit it in, and that's a much better way of doing it, I think, isn't
I know.
it?
I think so. I think so as well. Yeah. Um, yeah. So, what about the one where people say, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, we said about that, didn't we? About in it and all that.
In it, yeah, yeah. About every after every sentence, they go, yeah,
Every sentence.
yeah,
Yeah, it's interesting, but I suppose in a way, people have always had this thing. I think, mate, I don't. It's not really. I mean, I'm not a Cockney. A Cockney is someone born somewhere in the middle of London or whatever.
yeah,
I mean, I was born in outer London, Greater London, and I've never lived in London for years, and I've not actually been to London for a long time because we live quite a long way from there.
right,
But something that a lot of people say from my neck of the woods is, you know, when they say something, say, yeah, Um, and I discovered a lot. I mean, I had a finance career, and in occasionally I had a residential course in the earlier days.
Right.
And so you're in a room and you're discussing perhaps with a client a big finance deal, and they had a couple of cameras up in the corners, and it was quite the first time it ever happened. It's quite sobering, really, because the interesting thing is, once you start, someone the client comes in, he's introduced, and he sits down. So you're in like the office, and at first you think, "Oh, I'm going to be conscious of these cameras because everything is recorded," but you don't. I mean, I don't know whether you've had that experience, but you soon forget. You very quickly forget you're being filmed. So the thing starts and so on, and it probably lasts. They're quite lengthy, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and then afterwards they show it to you back. And in the early days, I noticed a few things. One, how much I speak with my hands. I mean, I'm sort of doing it here, but it just isn't particularly visible. I do speak with my hands a lot. And although I did learn in my job to be careful about that because I overdid it, it's still something. And you see it sometimes with a news reporter on TV. Their hands will be going quite fast on, when they're trying to express themselves. So body language, talking with your hands. But the other thing is hearing those, um, you know, and I've always been, I think people have said, I'm quite well spoken, and I couldn't believe how many times I did say, let me think, that which I suppose everybody says, but when you actually watch yourself and you think, my God, I didn't realize how I come across like that. Another aspect of that, I suppose, and the same thing applies, is hearing your own voice. Now, you and I have long since heard our own voices
I,
because we
I heard the
sing.
sound of my own
But
voice.
I mean, interestingly, my boy Paul, my son Paul, um, like me, he's a very ardent Crystal Palace fan, and I think I might have told you on a Sunday night. Most Sundays, he does a podcast with
Yeah, he did.
um, three, four, five others, and they talk about the match that's just happened and other factors about it all. And he started this, I think, a few months ago. I think early in this season. And when I saw him later that week after, I mean, I watched him and I actually think he was very good. He's very natural. He's a bit of an encyclopedia in terms of knowledge and statistics and all that. So he did very well.
Sorry,
And
Trevor.
and
Sorry,
sorry.
Trevor. If it goes off, can you just use the same link to get back in?
Okay, yeah, okay. So anyway, I was saying, well done, Paul. You did a great job on that because you'd not done it before, and he was very natural at it, and I was impressed. He said, "Yeah, Dad." He said, "But I tell you what," he said, "I never realised how I sounded." He said, "I've never really heard my voice before," and I said, "Really?" Because of course, you and I, I was recording